I was like, so how did, I'm like, you got in all these fights. I'm like, I'm talking about dozens and dozens of fights. I'm like, how do you get in that many fights and never get hit? He's like, I would always just tackle them, sit on their stomach, and beat the shit out of them. And like and basically what he's talking about was just grounding and pounding before, anybody put grounding and pounding. I saw him get in a fight one time, and at the time, I guess my dad was like 48, and I guess I was like 12 or 13 or something, but this guy had been running his mouth and saying some stuff he shouldn't be saying, and it kept weighing on my dad, and he's like, all right, we got to go find him. So we go to where this guy's working, and it's actually at a farm. And the other guy is bigger than my dad. He's probably 6'5", 300 pounds. This big, goofy-looking dude. And my dad gets out of the car, and the guy's like, "Hey, Lamar, what's going on?" And he's like, "You son of a bitch! I heard what you said." And we're in it's like a gravel driveway there, and it's the really big gravel, like it's like as big as your fist. Well, as big as a normal person's fist. And he picks up one of these rocks and holds it in his hand. And I asked him later, I'm like, "Why'd you pick up the rock?" He's like, "I wanted to make sure my hand was hard." And he punches the guy in the temple, and it's so loud, I had the windows roll up, and I heard it. Pop! And this guy just, like, falls out into the back of his own truck, and my dad starts choking him, and his hands are reaching all the way around this man's neck, and the fingers are touching on the back, because I can see from where I am that, like, he's got this man's neck like it's a chicken's neck, this giant man, and he's choking the shit out of him, and the man starts crying at this point. And, so my dad he's like, I guess I can't rough him up too much more because he's out there crying in front of all these people. There were a lot of people watching. So then he went into what he calls the humiliation mode, which is where he just kicks the man in the ass for about 3 minutes and cusses at him.
There were so many people that came to the meeting, they were like, all right, we got to reschedule. This isn't going to work. So they took it to the gym of the local high school, and it still wouldn't hold everyone. There were 2,000 people there screaming for the heads of the people that were on the stage trying to push this thing through. This woman gets on stage. She's like, "You don't understand. It's going to be better for everybody." Some guy in the crowd goes, "Kill that stupid bitch."
that would be me. I'd be like, "Your dog is going to disappear tonight."
No, I swear to God, there were people talk. I remember hearing this one guy say, he was like, "Oh, it would take somebody to get up on the hill, pop one of them son bitches in the kneecap. That'd change their damn mind." They were serious, but needless to say, that did not get passed.
Nice.
A quarter of a block, and my cousin's like, "He wants you to pull over." And I look back, and the guy's like motioning, he's like pointing toward his right, like pull over, pull over. I'm like, well, he just made a fucking mistake, because I'm like 18 years old. I'm going through that phase where it's like, nobody's gonna fuck with me, and I've actually got what I called my thumper in the truck with me, which is basically about 15 inches of the end of a baseball bat with duct tape wrapped around it. So I'm like, all right, this guy's going to have a bad day. So I hop out with that. And I run up to his passenger side window, and I start screaming at him. I'm like, "Yeah, you want me to fuck you up? You want to fuck you up, you piece of shit?" And he's like terrified. He like backs up into the car. He's like, "I'm a judge." And I'm like, oh no. He might as well have pulled out a double-barreled shotgun. I was like, time to go. I like jump back in the truck. Scott at this point is like running around the truck like he's there to back me up. He's like, I was going to get him from the driver's side and drag him out. I'm like, no. So we take off out of there. I'm worried the guy's going to get my plates. So I just drive right into the intersection. I don't even look for cars. We could have easily been T-boned. I'm on sidewalks. I'm driving through parking lots. Anything to get the fuck out of there. We drove around for an hour just in the wrong direction away from home to avoid the police. Because I just knew that guy was going to be calling the cops. But,
yeah, we were talking about things that people are afraid of. And in the chat, they keep saying Kyle's dad. I got a quick story about something that my dad did this weekend or not this weekend, this week. That's pretty crazy. He went and bought these 3, nail guns, and 2 of them are the kind of nail guns that you use for like hardwood, and tongue and groove are the kind that you actually hit with a hammer, and they drive the nail in at a really sharp angle. And the other one was like a professional grade pneumatic nail gun. And he had bought them because they all had something wrong with them, and he likes tinkering with stuff. And so he had ordered the parts for them to repair them. And he's sitting there with this pneumatic nail gun that he's not really familiar with, and he's got it sitting on his lap, and he's working on it. And he's like, "So how does this work?" And he goes, "Kapow!" He shoots a nail into his thigh, and all that's left is the head of the nail sticking up. He goes, "Huh, Well, it works. He gets some pliers, pulls the nail out, and I'm talking. It went in as deep as my pinky finger is long, and I got big hands. Like it was a big nail. It went all the way in. Like I mean, I guess if it had more power, it would just went in like a bullet. But pulled it out, and he was like, "Huh. Well, I guess we should put the safety on from now on." Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I swear to God, every
Kyle's
flinch.
dad is so bad.
If you're ever in a situation where you think somebody's going to beat the hell out of you, just yell, "I'm a judge," because that's better than a gun.